What's up, everybody? What's up? It is October 22nd, 2018. I hope everyone is doing all right today. And it's just another sideways day in the markets. It's just continuing to go sideways, and we're gonna kind of find out what's actually going on in the markets and how we're able to predict or project what's actually going to be happening in the near-term future. And I'm just making sure I'm live, and it looks like I'm live. So welcome everybody. I hope everyone is doing all right. Right, let's get straight to it then. So first thing I would like to say is this guy, I am Satoshi, posted this incredible chart on TradingView, and I just wanted to share this with everybody and what it actually looks like. I mean, just take a look at this, guys. We had a high and it is essentially a low on December 15th to June 29th. These are CME future contracts. So this is pretty critical stuff here. We're looking at these dates, looking at these highs and lows, and it's clearly showing these highs and lows over and over again. So from December 15th to June 29th, we have a high, we have a low. We have April 30th to July 27th, we have a high, and we have another high. And that's actually kind of a misnomer, because these are actually, the red ones are actually CBOE contracts and not CME contracts. So that's actually pretty interesting stuff to be watching as of late. And of course, we have a new contract showing up here, and the future contracts kind of show different rates of long and shorts for your futures. So that's actually pretty interesting stuff, and obviously this could continue to have a significant price impact within the future. So not too bad going forward here. So let's actually come straight to the Bitcoin charts and show you exactly what I've been seeing. Hey guys, welcome guys. Seeing a lot of haze, and what's up guys. Hopefully everyone's having a good Monday. I know I'm having a good Monday. I actually sold a lot of Bitcoin back into USD around $15,000. I think everyone is aware of that. And then when it was $15,000, and I picked up a lot of GVT at its low. So I've been sitting pretty happy with my Genesis Vision gains, considering it broke through the top 100, and now it's continuing to break out. Almost at $15 today, and I picked it up at around $8. So not too bad for the last couple months. So I've just been watching that, and I've been setting my stop losses across multiple exchanges. And of course, liquidity is a big issue across exchanges these days. And one of the things that we've been seeing as of late is more and more hacks going forward. And before we get here, Trade.io, a fairly new exchange, just got hacked for over $7 million. So again, guys, make sure you guys are aware of what you're putting your money into, and use credible exchanges, something like Binance, Bittrex, Gemini, and Coinbase. And Gemini and Coinbase, of course, being insured for any hacks up to $250,000. So of course, that's a big chunk of money that you could get your money back if they do get hacked. So yeah, that being said, keep your money safe. And Android just got launched for Monarch Wallet. So we've already got 4,000 downloads in the last 2 days. So that's really exciting stuff. 4,000 downloads. I didn't even know there were that many crypto enthusiasts that were watching Monarch so closely. So really happy about that. So Android, Apple, iOS has been out for a while. So if you have an Android application, go ahead and Android phone, go ahead and download Monarch Wallet on the Google Play Store, and it'll definitely be good. A good time. I mean, it's very limited functionality right now, not as much as iOS, but we're upgrading it constantly. We wanted to put it out as soon as we can, and I'm actually talking with the USDT guys in an interview, hopefully tomorrow. So that'll USDT guys, sorry, TUSD guys. So that's True USD, not Tether. Tomorrow, and we actually support TUSD on the wallet. So definitely go check that out as well if you're looking to keep your money off the exchange. Monarch is audited and pretty great stuff. Android is available, so go ahead and download that. 4,000 downloads. Smash that thumbs up, guys, if you do like the content, and I really do appreciate everyone joining me here today. So I wanted to show you guys this today. We are coming closer and closer to this wedge, this lethal wedge going on for the entire summation of 2018. I mean, just take a look at that, guys. We are just continuing to hit these lower and lower highs and higher lows here. So pretty fantastic stuff. All right, so look at that, guys. We are hitting our resistance. We are finally hitting our resistance, and the 4-hour actually looks pretty good. We have that MACD pretty low, stochastic RSI pretty low, and of course this lazy bear squeeze momentum just showing that we may be hitting some red momentum relatively soon. But that 4-hour shows us that we may be hitting a buy signal very soon, and hopefully we'll see a breakout within the near future. But as of right now, we are waiting for this to break out. It's still hitting resistance right now. I mean, let's take a look at the 2 hours. This is a 200-hour moving average, and we just crossed it. And the daily, we're still not even close to hitting that daily, and that daily is really key here. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm just seeing the chat now, so sorry about that. But let's get back on topic and staying focused here. That daily, I'd really like to see it cross the daily 100-day moving average, and that's when I'd be actually bullish. But as of right now, we're hitting our resistances right now. So either we break out or we break down. So I'm actually going to draw this, and I'm actually going to double click here. So right now, we're here right now. So we are here right now. Oh, wow, that is not a good color. I don't know why anyone would be using black. Let's use red. All right, so we are here right now. So what I'd like to see is an either upward movement or a downward movement. Both are fine with me. I'm just hoping that we break out of this sideways pattern that we've been following. And I mean, just take a look at this channel. Wow, why is everything black right now? Okay, let's make this red again. All right. So right now we're moving across this sideways channel here, and I'd like to see us kind of break out of this channel here. I'm actually going to tighten up that channel here, and this is a tether drop, so and a subsequent pump here. So I'd like to push this up here. I'd like to see us break down or break out of this channel that we've been following, and it has been a rocky road to say the least. But you know, it's hitting resistance right now, and I'd like to see some significant buy pressure coming back in here. And I'm actually going to go to GDAX right now, and let's take a look at the order book. And again, of course, it's no longer called GDAX; it's actually called Coinbase Pro. So be wary of that. And I don't think anyone calls it GDAX anymore. So this is ZRX Bitcoin. Wow, let's not look at that. So we're seeing some significant resistance levels here, $4 million resistance just to get across here, and we're seeing a lot more sell orders than buy orders right now. And incredibly, we're seeing a lot of margin trade volume still happening, even though the tether scare has really pushed people around. But let's go take a look at Bitcoin right now. Across the markets. So it says 6,480. It's at 6,400 right now on Coinbase. But look at that. We're seeing a consistent price on BitMEX, which is nothing to be surprised about. But where is Bitfinex? Bitfinex, Binance. Look at that. The tether exchanges still hitting these $80 differentials between Bitcoin pegged to USD and Bitcoin pegged to USDT. So that's definitely something you want to look out for there. Wow, why am I not seeing Bitfinex? Bitfinex, there it is. Okay, so wow, Bitfinex is over around $160 differential there, and still Bitfinex still trading on that premium. So I'd be very wary if you're trading on Bitfinex. I'd much rather trade on something like Kraken, Coinbase, or of course Gemini as well. So I definitely would stay away from Bitfinex for the time being until they get these issues resolved. But it's looking like another big price differential between the Korean won, the ruble, the euro, and the dollar. So definitely look out for that. And I've been seeing a lot of, maybe this is just my feed, and maybe you guys are seeing this feed as well on your own news feeds. But we're seeing a lot of scares. For example, JP Morgan just came out with an announcement saying the recession. It's 80% likely that there's a recession in the next 2 years. And then we have Goldman Sachs saying a recession is imminent. And this is what's been hitting up my news feed over the weekend and of course today as well. And that's kind of terrifying. But what we're seeing right now is not a negative correlation between Bitcoin and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So let's actually add a the Dow Jones and I'm actually going to, yeah, that's actually good. So hopefully you guys, let me actually delete these red lines here. And you know, to be actually better is if I make it a different color. We'll make that light blue, and we'll make this green. So if you're looking at these, the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 here, again, this is not per price, but this is actually per trend, right? So per percentage differential. So we're looking at this at a percentage mark and drop off. And what are we seeing right now? Look at that. We see a huge drop off and a bounce back, and that's exactly what we're seeing for Bitcoin. So this is not negatively correlated. Why? RVN Moon. So Ravencoin, again, is a brand new cryptocurrency, really speculative. If you look on Coinbase, just go take a look at it. It's just got listed to a lot of places. So let's actually go take a look at that. RVN up 38%. 2 billion market supply, circulating supply 2 billion and 21 billion max supply. Again, remember, since there's such a low circulating supply, the max supply is really not regarded too much. But again, I would even say the circulating supply is maybe 10 to 20% of what's actually going on right now. We have a volume higher than the market cap for Ravencoin. So again, I would be very cautious about that. We have that Binance listing. So Binance and Bittrex both listing Ravencoin. That's where most of the volume is coming from. I definitely wouldn't look into getting into this anytime soon. I'm not a big believer in Ravencoin. You could do your own research here. So home of Ravencoin. What is Ravencoin? Is messengers who carry statements of truth. Remember the ravens in Game of Thrones. So it's supposed to pretty much be a gossip or truth cryptocurrency, speculative currency. It's kind of weird. I would definitely read the white paper. This is actually a white paper I still want to read because it is a unique idea, and I do like applications that bring out unique ideas. Of course, we've all seen the financial applications for blockchain, but we haven't seen many other applications. We see Veritasium, we see Truthium, we see a lot of these different cryptocurrencies coming out. Blockchain projects. I wouldn't even call them cryptocurrencies. Blockchain projects that reward people based on the underlying truth or the immutability in blockchain technology. But it's interesting, but it's super speculative, and I don't know if I would get involved right now. And is this going to be a squiggly boom? We're seeing lots of squiggly boom comments here. This is a textbook squiggly boom. So hopefully we break. I'm hoping actually we break down to 6,000 because that's where I think people will get in even more. If it goes down to 6,000, you bet your bottom dollar I'm buying a lot of Bitcoin for you know, a 50 to 60% discount of what I sold at 15,000. So I still haven't even re-entered the market fully. So this is definitely something very interesting to keep a lookout for. And I would not sleep on Bitcoin as of late. I'd like to see this any sort of action happening very, very shortly. I mean, this is a textbook breakout, textbook breakdown moment here for Bitcoin. I would definitely keep an eye out for it, guys. I definitely set your stop losses. Set your stop losses. I've already set my stop losses for my remaining Bitcoin, and I've actually set some buy orders as well for closer to that 6,100 mark to 6,000 mark, even under 6,000. I've set my buy orders for, because I'm ready to get in. I'm ready to get in once I see a significant trend coming through. And we're actually going to push this to the weekly. Let's look at that long-term scale here. So look at that, guys. I mean, we're just continuously traveling within these borders. We are building the wall here, and we are about to open the floodgates. RSI extremely low. Again, I wouldn't put too much faith in that weekly RSI. That MACD, this is the first time it's crossed. I would call this I would call this a bull trap here. But this is the first time we've crossed. I wouldn't call this two crosses here, but this is the first time we've crossed since January 2018 on the weekly. This is the MACD. This is statistically significant, and we're continually traveling upwards, but not very upwards whatsoever. I would say a neutral pattern right now, and we're hoping to see more of that bullish sentiment come forward. Even on the daily MACD, we're still traveling on that neutral pattern, and this is what's worrying me. If we can't get above that 6,800 mark, I think we continue to drop below, and that's a key level that I'm really looking at. And this is the daily. What I'm looking at is the daily, and you know, we're not seeing any negative correlation with the traditional stock market. So what are we all buying our time for? There's only two things that really I'm buying my time for, or three things. Is when institutional investors come in, hopefully when they see the value of cryptocurrencies, and when the SEC regulatory bodies actually give their blessings to cryptocurrencies. Four things: regular merchant or market adoption, where you could actually spend your cryptocurrencies. That's when something I'd definitely be looking into. Another one is the ETFs. So definitely looking forward to the ETFs. So I would definitely keep an eye out for the ETFs, and especially those future contracts. Again, futures don't trade the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin, but it still has a drastic price. I mean, there's definitely if you won the Mega Millions, what you do right now is you buy a bunch of future contracts. If you won the Mega Millions, and I wouldn't even call it Mega Millions right now, it's Mega Billions, $1.6 billion in this lottery. So if you're in the United States, go ahead and buy some lottery tickets, and if you win, you know, make sure you remember your old faithful pal Snay right here on stream. But what you can do if you won that $1.6 billion is you buy a shit ton of future contracts. You go long on the futures. You think you're going to predict them to go up. You buy a shit ton of Bitcoin. You close out your contracts. And then what happens? Oh yeah, that's right. Now you close your contract for the future contracts, and then you just make money both ways up, and then you sell your Bitcoin, and then you do it all over, and then you short it, and then you go long, then you short it, then you long. With $500 million, you could sway this price drastically. Remember, what they are saying right now, if you put $1 million into the market, what are you doing? You're not just pumping the market. Hey, I'm going to pump the market up, you know, $45 or something like that. No, you're putting significant buy pressure, and you're pretty much triggering all these algos and all these margin traders and all these bot traders to say, hey, there's some volume alert. Let's go long now. And that's pretty much what you're doing. Even with a small amount of money, like $1 million, could significantly sway that price to an upward movement. Because right now, what's happening, especially with these margin traders and these bots, is buying, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and that's what the volume is really created. Because think about it, guys. I'm gonna go back to CoinMarketCap. Do you really think $3 billion is being traded, or is being bought and sold and bought? I mean, bought in one direction? No, it's almost like a 51 or 50.1 and 49.9 buy to sell and then sell to buy. There's really not too much going on there with the price action. It's just a lot of bots, and what I've been privy to is a lot of this volume is actually created by bots and margin traders and these smart algos or algorithms that are trading in and out of Bitcoin. So definitely $1 million sway in one direction is going to significantly impact that price of Bitcoin. It's just especially on a single order. If you say, hey, I'm going to put in an order of $1 million into Bitcoin, it's going to significantly trigger a lot of these volume changes. And I have volume alerts all the time. Hey, there's a single transaction for this, a single transaction for that. And just take a look at this, guys. This is the trade history. Oh, you guys can't see it. Let me move this out. Any real websites to trade XMR? Again, Monero just came out with bulletproof, so I think everyone saw that article. 90% reduction in fees, basically free if you're trading Monero. So pretty fantastic stuff. And let me move my face out of the way too. Look at that trade size. I mean, no one's buying even close to a single Bitcoin in the last 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, we see a whole Bitcoin sell at 6406. But again, look at all these small orders. Those are margin traders just going in and out and in and out. And so that's how I say to spend XMR. Again, you're not going to like this answer whatsoever, but I'll actually just tell you the truth. I have a good authority that stealth coins are going to be heavily regulated. And what do I mean about that? It is inconceivable to me and to a lot of regulators that to have money that cannot be tracked. You don't know the amount, you don't know the recipient, you don't know what the hell's going on within that network, because everything is ring signatures and now bulletproof. Ring signatures, ZK snarks. ZK snarks, on the other hand, zero knowledge proofs. Not so much, but ring signatures, again, remember that Knights Roundtable example that I love to talk about, where there's a group of 10 people and you don't know which one's being sent. You don't know what the transaction is being sent between Monero. So definitely pretty scary stuff here for any Monero holder, especially with impending regulations. And that's what I love about cryptocurrencies is even though we talk about regulations, it's a lot better than oil and gas futures or any other commodity in the energy sector, because unlike oil and gas and natural gas and coal, things like that, where it's pending denial, right? It's pending more regulatory impact, unless we have another Trump and he says clean coal, whatever. We're not going to go into the geopolitical interfaces between commodity trading, but unless something like that happens, where we have just lost faith in humanity and we're just saying, hey, I'm going to go out and spend a shit ton of money on oil and gas, and it's not going to be regulated to oblivion. I think Germany says they're banning all gas cars within 30 years. So that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Again, I'm a pretty big optimist on green technology. But on the other hand, cryptocurrencies, while oil and gas and all the coal and natural gas, all those are pending denial and pending regulations for denial. Cryptocurrencies are essentially pending approval. We know it's going to come. We know this technology is around to stay. But when is that going to happen? If I knew, I'd be a future teller and I would tell you, but I don't know. So definitely interesting stuff. All the more reasons to spend it now. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm just reading the comments here. Sorry for being off topic. Don't get me wrong here, guys. I love stealth coins. I love, not Zcash, but I do like things like Monero ring signatures. Zcash is a little bit too centralized for my taste, and even Dash on that note. I'm not a big fan of super nodes. Remember, I think it's 100,000. No, it's 1,000 Dash. It's 1,000 Dash to run a Dash node, and I'm not a big fan of that. I think nodes are another way of centralizing things. Even staking is not as centralized as super nodes, and I don't like the node structures. I don't like that whatsoever. And then the delegate proof of stake is even better than staking, in my opinion, where even the small guys have a say in the voting mechanism there. So definitely pretty interesting. Super master nodes. Oh my god, I'm running 2 master nodes and I just said super nodes. Man, that's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Yeah, I'm running 2 master nodes right now. Thoughts on Tomo Chain? So Tomo Chain has been very, very hyped up. What can I say? What can I say? There's a lot of ICOs not delivering. Tomo Chain is on the border of not delivering. It's really, really sad. I mean, we're running Monarch. I'm running Monarch. Well, me and my co-founder, Beatles. Of course, everybody here knows Crypto Beatles. So we started Monarch. We have our own dev team. We've self-funded everything using our crypto gains that we've been long-term believers since 2010, 2011, 2012. Invested a lot of money and time. I actually, my own background is I'm a nuclear engineer. I then shifted over into the pharma realm, and then I got my master's in systems engineering and did traditional smart contracts as a expert consultant for Fortune 500 companies, pharmaceutical Fortune 500 companies, and I quit it all. I quit it all to go full time in blockchain and Monarch. So and of course streaming and purveying my own thoughts, and hopefully you guys like that. So smash up the thumbs if you do like it. And we have a lot of Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen. If anybody doesn't know who Janet Yellen is, she's the Secretary of the Treasury. Janet Yellen. She was the Secretary of the Treasury. Oh, I should know this. Former chair of the Federal Reserve. That's what it was. Former chair of the Federal Reserve. Not the biggest fan, but I can never be a fan of the Federal Reserve regardless. I think you should delete the Fed. I'm just kidding. I think the Fed has its use cases, but again, fractional reserve banking and bailing out multi-billion-dollar conglomerates is not my forte. But that being said, do you think, we have another question here, do you think virgin Bitcoin mine coins ever tainted by criminal transactions have more value than tainted Bitcoin in the future? So we actually have had this conversation before. I think there's going to be a market for it, but I wouldn't bet a premium on it. I wouldn't bet a premium on it. I have plenty of mined Bitcoins that has never been transacted whatsoever. Actually, they've been transacted between 2 wallets, but I actually have some on a legacy client, on a legacy node, on an old laptop as well, that I've pulled, and I've got the JSON file extracted. But that being said, do I think that mined Bitcoins? Yeah, I mean, I could see there's a market for it, but I don't think that it is. It's going to be traded at a utmost premium. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's the fidget spinners were $1 billion market at one point, so definitely going to be interesting to see. Definitely going to be interesting to see if that market ever comes to fruition there. So ZCN, Zero Chain. I don't actually know too much about Zero Chain. I know about ZRX, which just got listed on Coinbase, and we've been following ZRX for a while. Now, ZRX is a decentralized exchange, and Coinbase is hedging their bets on decentralized exchange. And we saw a huge price pump up, and it's continuing to pump up there. So hopefully we'll see continuous movement for ZRX. But ZCN, I can't give you an educated opinion because, to tell you the truth, I'm not educated on Zero Chain. I mean, we could try charting it. I'm not even going to try charting it. That doesn't even look fun to me. I don't know what's going on with these candles. These candles are very, very weird over on Bitfinex. I hate Bitfinex. God, I hate Bitfinex. Get your money off there. Put it in Kraken. Put it on Coinbase. Put it on Gemini. Get it off Bitfinex. Jeez. This is terrible. And I'm actually going to just go over this coin. Lastly is GVT. And we'll go over a couple more coins on CoinMarketCap. But wow, look at that, guys. I've just been making a killing. I am so proud of myself. I've just been making a killing. And everything is leading up towards this day. And the next thing I would say is, hold on, let me cancel these out. We're coming up to a resistance, so I'm actually going to look to sell some off. There's only 4 million tokens in supply. And GVT, I'm a long-term believer on there. I'm actually trying to get Dimitri back on stream. I just emailed him actually, to talk about the GVT platform a little bit because I am such a huge fan. This is one of the few use cases. Again, it's a financial application, and I know that shit gets boring, but I'm still a long-term believer, and they actually have a dope product. They have an awesome, awesome product. I mean, it actually works. They've had the bait out for months, and they're actually doing something with it. I don't see Black Moon Crypto, who raised $30 million, doing anything with their shit. LA Token, which is, I still think it's a scam. I still think LA Token is a scam. And they're building this platform with $3 million in funding. And already, they're already broken up to the top 100. Builders, that's what this market should be focused on. Not theory, not white papers, but builders. People who are actually doing what they promised. People that are actually doing what they promised. Because Omise Go, holy shit. And sorry for my language. Man, let's go back to CoinMarketCap. Alright, EOS. I'm not going to talk too ill on EOS. Because I know there's a lot of EOS fans out there. But if you've ever tried to implement that, or ever try to get a wallet generation event, or a public key generation event, it's like $1 per public key right now just to create a wallet for EOS. That's very, very expensive. On top of that, just to run bandwidth on the network is arbitrarily stupidly high. Look at that 24-hour volumes. We're not seeing any. Look at all this. This is a stable market. For the last 24 hours, look at this. We're not seeing a single 1% drop. We see Tron drop, but come on. It's Tron. You know, it's going to drop going out. But look at that. We have nothing moving going. We have nothing going on right now. This right now is everybody's waiting for Bitcoin to make a decision whether to break out or break down. Like let's keep going down here. So we have Ethereum Classic. Who's in Ethereum Classic? Guys, who's in Ethereum Classic? I mean, I don't understand. Who's in Ethereum Classic? I just can't wrap my head around why anyone would be in Ethereum Classic. But again, you know, if there's dApps that being run off there, sure. But ever since the DAO attack, who has faith in Ethereum Classic? I mean, other than IOHK, the Cardano guys who are actually running Ethereum Classic, you know, maybe that's interesting. And being supported by Coinbase is kind of arbitrary because remember, Coinbase made that retroactive decision. Unlike Kraken, unlike Binance, unlike a lot of other exchanges, Coinbase actually had to retroactively support Bitcoin Cash. Again, I'm not a big Bitcoin Cash purveyor myself either. I think that's the whole network is a little scammy considering it's controlled, like 60% of it's controlled by Bitmain and you know, the Roger Ver and Jihan Wu. I would definitely wouldn't get too involved in Bitcoin Cash if you're a fan of decentralization. But that being said, you know, who is putting money in Ethereum Classic? It doesn't make much sense to me. What's your opinion on Storm? Storm is another one. They're building. They're actually building. I actually have met the Storm guys. They are building. But again, very slowly and really not hitting any of the roadmaps whatsoever. Very, very, very concerning. But we're having a very, very neutral day in the markets. We have Tezos being pumped up. We did see Kraken support Tezos. Now Tezos is known for that. So pretty much what happened is 2017, 2018 rolled around. People invested Ethereum and Bitcoin in them, and then they essentially hit $1 billion market cap, right? Well, they had $1 billion under assets, right, under management. So who does that $1 billion really belong to? Does it belong to the team? Does it belong to the token holders? Who does that actually belong to? So that's what Tezos is really trying to figure out. And of course, everyone knows about the Tezos, what's going on with Tezos. Actually, let's just Tezos dilemma. We get overview of what went wrong, International Justice Project, what's going on with Tezos, and then we could just look at the Tezos news. Anyways, there's plenty of news around a lot of speculation around Tezos regardless. But that being said, what are you going to do, right? I still think Tezos is a legitimate project, without a doubt. All right, that being said, wow, there's just nothing happening really. Usually I'm used to seeing these 4, 5, 6% volatility here, but really, things are barely moving around 1%. What is this, the dollar, right? What is this? Chainlink, man, there's a lot of hype around Chainlink. I'm not getting involved with Chainlink either. Holochain, actually a big fan of the team, and they're actually developing their project. Pretty happy about their development schedule so far. Komodo, love the Komodo team. No, sorry, not the team. I love the Komodo idea. What they do is they use, what Komodo does is they leverage Bitcoin as a layer of security. So they pretty much timestamp Bitcoin transactions and the Bitcoin block time based on their own block time, based on their own blockchain. So it's a multi-layer security. So it's the Komodo blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, Komodo blockchain, and then transactions happening underneath the Komodo blockchain. But in order to penetrate that Komodo layer, you have to penetrate the Bitcoin layer, and therefore it's pretty unhackable. And I really do like the Komodo project. I just wish more projects would build on them, but nothing of caliber here. Yeah, Komodo is stuck in the mud here. We have Crypto.com. Now, Crypto.com is Monaco. I don't know if you guys remember Monaco. They just started releasing their credit cards in Singapore. So I think you should be seeing some on their social. So yeah, first credit cards on Singapore. So definitely pretty interesting stuff here. Definitely pretty interesting stuff here from Monaco. I'm happy for them, right? But why aren't we seeing any debit cards in the United States? Because no bank is supporting them. That's basically it. There's no banks that are supporting. There's no card providers or credit card or debit card providers. There are some like Shift, but really it's hard. It's hard for the United States to grasp, especially United States banking infrastructure to grasp. Allowing people to debit and credit using crypto through a bank. That's just a sad reality of things. And we had that huge scandal, of course, with Centra. If you guys haven't seen this is pretty funny. Floyd Mayweather, this just came out the 19th of October. It just came out. Mayweather and DJ Khaled sued over alleged cryptocurrency scam. Now, if you did invest in this project, you got a letter, a class action lawsuit, saying that, hey, These people clearly scammed you. What are you going to do now? Well, you could pretty much sue Centra. What did they do? They pretty much claimed false partnership with Visa, which is absurd. You know, this could work for Tron, but this won't work for anybody else. It's just the reality of the situation. Digitex futures, you know, I've seen a lot of volatility as of late, but I'm not too sure about Digitex futures. I have to honestly read the white paper. I haven't been keeping up to date on Digitex. Wax, so Wax lending, so pretty cool stuff coming out from Wax. Finally breaking out a little bit. Some pretty big news coming out for Wax as well. Let's go take a look at the socials. Application is live. TwitchCon, they're doing a lot of promotions and steady press and steady development. Now this is a project that I could get behind. Things like Wax, things like Salt, you know, I'm not a big fan of lending regardless, but at least they're working. At least they're developing. You know, that's just the reality of things. Polymath is waiting for security tokens to really take place. We all know, I think we all know by now, that fractionalized tokens or STOs are coming. Bakkt is going to bring these to the future. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, things like Polymath really take shape once things like T0 or Templum actually comes forward. Wax's skins, yeah, sorry. Wax's skins, yeah, I knew that. Gaming skins, I know that. Yeah, I'm talking about Salt lending as well. Salt lending, for some reason I confused the two, but they had a booth right next to each other around 8 months ago at a conference I was at, and of course, yeah, sorry, this guy doesn't know shit. Apparently I don't. So yeah, Wax lending, ridiculous. But Salt lending, and another one I'm really really enthusiastic about is Celsius. So Celsius was a big ICO. They sold out their ICO. That was they're doing lending as well. So they're taking lending as well, and they're available for the United States as well as Salt is. So go check out Celsius Network as well. Wax, why they're being pumped is TwitchCon, and I should know that, right? Because League of Legends Worlds is on right now, and you know, TwitchCon is, I believe it's going on next week, or is it this week? Nexo is another one that Nexo. I don't even want to give my opinion on Nexo. That is yeah. Well, we'll see. The ICO was a shit show, but we'll see. We'll see what actually happens with Nexo. Yeah, we'll just see what happens with Nexo. But you know, Salt is doing pretty well, staying remarkably stable, and actually I made quite a little bit of profit with Salt as well. But yeah, that's about it. And what is this? 12% Veritasium? Holy shit! I'm never touching Veritasium. Why are they being pumped right now? $800,000 in market volume. I guess their DApp network is live. Yeah, I'm not touching Veritasium. Look at that. Look at that. The company owns like 90% of its circulating supply. It's absurd. It's absurd. I'm not touching Veritasium. I'm not touching Veritasium ever. Probably ever. Yeah. I've seen him talk. I've seen what's his name again? I've seen Reggie Middleton talk multiple times. Again, I'm just not a big fan of Veritasium. I'm never touching Veritasium. And again, that's my own personal opinion. I don't give out financial advice, but we talk about this all the time, and we do a lot of. And again, my technical analysis is not as good as some of the guys that we brought onto the team over on the Moon Lounge. So go join the Moon Lounge. It's free. The Moon Lounge is free. If you want to join the Advantage, of course, you could do that. But the community discussion is fully available with the link below in the description. So you could definitely go take a look at that. It's pretty awesome. We are chatting in there constantly. I mean, we'll just show you right now. Lounge, and then we have bot trading. We have community discussion. We have trader talk. We have Bitcoin daily, Bitcoin analysis, and we're just constantly talking about how to trade bots. I actually just started up my first bot. Jason is actually pretty adept at bot trading, and so I've just been setting up and you know, trying to learn as much as I can. Again, this is a whole journey for everybody. I don't think anyone, if anyone is telling you that they know everything about every single cryptocurrency, they know everything about margin trading, bot trading, fundamental analysis. What I specialize in is a technological review. I'm a developer myself. I know Solidity. I know what's actually going on behind the scenes. I know how to look through GitHub and actually see what the hell is legit or not. So that being said, well, the trading group is absolutely free, David Uhas. But since you're going to be a troll, yeah, it's absolutely free. So go ahead and join. You don't have to join the Advantage; it's completely free. So you're more than welcome to join that if you want. If not, you know, you continue trolling. I mean, that's completely fine. And now this is where the exciting stuff happens. GoChain up 50%. GoChain up 50%. So as you know, Monarch, you know, my own ICO, which we're doing decentralized recurring payments, and we're a wallet solution. We're actually the only wallet that's a decentralized wallet that supports Ripple, Stellar, TUSD, Bitcoin, Ethereum, every single ERC20 token in existence, all in the same place. So we're the only people that can do that and do that. It's actually kind of weird because all these huge market cap coins like Ethos and a Bread Wallet, all they do is support ERC20 tokens, and only some, not even custom contract addresses. So go ahead and check out Monarch and give me an honest review, guys. I mean, give me an honest review. If you don't like the layout, let me know. If you don't like the user interface, let me know. If you don't like how there's not features that you don't like or don't see, let me know. I mean, this is we're just trying to build the best product as we can. When did I buy into crypto? Actually, my first buy into crypto wasn't really a buy. I was actually in college at the time, and it was 2010. I bought my first Bitcoin. I mined my first Bitcoin. I bought my first Bitcoin using Circle, I believe, in 2012. I actually was fortunate never to be hacked into Mount Gox or anything like that. I remember I've been through a lot of 90% drops. I've been in 90% drops, if my memory recalls. Yeah, so I've been a long-term believer of cryptocurrencies, and yeah, I've been around since 2010. And unlike a lot of people, I actually I'm not a core developer, and I don't claim to be. I'm a Solidity developer, and I like the Ethereum network, and that's what I believe into. No, I mean, let people troll. I mean, he thinks I bought in Christmas, and this channel's been live for like 2.5 years, so that's interesting. You know, if you could just take a look at our channel history, it's all good. I mean, let people troll. You need trolls in this space, because without trolls, you can't have progression, right? If people like, hey, if I slip up, I want people to call me out on my bullshit. Always, always, always. And that's what I try to do. All these cryptocurrencies I'm talking about right now, I try to call them out on their bullshit. I always try to call them out on their bullshit. And if people don't call me out on their bullshit, you're doing me a disservice. Because if I don't know what I'm talking about, that's the problem right there, right? I've been trading in and out of Bitcoin. I've been a Forex trader for the last 6 years. So I've been trading in and out of Forex for a while now. And of course, Bitcoin for the last 8 years. So that's pretty much my background. Wow, Revain. I was actually a big Revain is the one where it's like Yelp, right? Or is that the ticketing service? Revain is the Yelp for cryptocurrencies. That's actually pretty interesting as well. BTC Alpha. Manual validation, yeah. self-regulation in cryptocurrencies. Wow. That's pretty shitty. I hate when companies do that. Hey, look at where my price moons. So Tron does that all the time. I don't really like that. And I like Tron. Tron actually has, if you look at through their GitHub, and you can actually run this virtual machine right now. They have a forward, and people talk a lot of shit about Tron. But let me tell you why I like Tron. Not because of Justin Sun, Pump Master Justin Sun, and I actually don't mind him too much either. It's because they're actually building shit. They actually have a lot of office locations, and you know, I met with a couple of their team members, and what they have is this virtual machine that is forwards and backwards compatible with Ethereum. It's the first of its kind. I mean, you guys should take a look at that. What about Dragon Chain? Dragon Chain is another one of those cryptocurrencies that I'm waiting for to take off. But again, what do I think is going to happen in the future is no longer separate chains. There's only so many protocols that you could build on. There's only so many cross-chain or atomic swaps that you could build upon, right? So all of these things, it's going to come up to a precipice. Think about it this way, okay? Ethereum, we have GoChain, we have Neo. Let me just go through it here. We have EOS, we have Stellar, we have Cardano, we have Tron, we have IOTA, we have Neo, we have NEM, we have VeChain, we have Qtum, we have Ontology, we have Lisk. All of these companies are vying for actual products, companies like mine, Monarch, to be built upon them. Now, how many companies are building on Qtum that are actually usable? Actually, a couple. That's a bad example. Neo, actually a couple. EOS, actually a significant couple. We have things like Everpedia, which I'm a huge fan of Everpedia. I don't like EOS as a platform. I think the code is shit. I think the foundation or the governance mechanism is kind of sketchy at best. But if they could pull it off, great. You know, I'm all ears for that. I don't like that there's only 21 delegates or 20 delegates, while Cardano has 1,000. And they're rotating delegates. I'm a much bigger fan of that. So yeah, I mean, I just I'm not a big fan of the EOS infrastructure right now, but I am a big fan of the dApps building on EOS. Everpedia is awesome. So if you guys ever heard of Everpedia? Everpedia. What the hell? There it is. Everpedia. So the co-founder of Wikipedia actually joined the Everpedia team, or is an advisor on the Everpedia team. I mean, that's pretty cool, and they're actually building something that is actually worthwhile. So yeah, I do like that. I think 2018, 2019, 2020, this is the years of the dApps. This is when shit actually gets built. Shit actually gets built. No more random fucking protocols that say, hey, I could do 100,000 transactions per second, or I could do this, I could do that. We could support Java. We could support C#. We support Solidity. We're forward, backward compatible. Atomic swaps. All that's going to be for the birds in the future, in my opinion. How many Googles do we have? How many applications do people build on right now? Because I know what we do at Monarch, we're only building on 2. We got Java for Android, and we got Swift for iOS. Those are the only 2 that we're building on. So if you're a big company, for example, you know, hey, I'm a PayPal, I want to move into the blockchain space, what's going on? And again, Monarch is a payment application, and we do the world's first decentralized recurring payments. We've actually got a patent for that, so keep an eye out for that, and that's actually going to be pretty huge. You know, think Spotify, Netflix, rent, 401k, things like that, right? Mortgages, anything on a recurring basis, we're able to handle over at Monarch. But again, you know, if PayPal wants to move into the blockchain space, you think they're going to build on 40 different applications and have 30 different cross-chain applications prevalent? No, absolutely not. What they're going to do is they're going to build into a centralized exchange or a DEX and trade in and out, but they're not going to have smart contracts. So what is this? What does atomic swaps actually mean? And I'm going on a kind of a rant here, but what does atomic swaps actually mean? So to me, atomic swaps is not only so. Like what is Komodo doing? Komodo is doing atomic swaps, but what they're doing is they have a barter DEX, which is a DEX that automatically swaps, for example, from Ethereum to Bitcoin or Ethereum to Komodo, right? So if I send you some Komodo and you want to receive it in Ethereum, you're able to do that without any sort of intermediation, right? Almost like a shapeshift, almost like an exchange. They call it the barter DEX. But to me, what atomic swaps actually is the smart contract. So if I say, hey, I owe Jill $10, right? Now, when I send that Ethereum smart contract, I owe Jill, that's a contract, I owe Jill $10. When I send that over to Komodo, that contract still exists in its place. And very few companies, or I want to say one or two companies, have actually been able to do that, where, hey, there's an Ethereum contract and those stipulations are actually still being met on another blockchain. Now that is something that I would love to see more into the future. I would love to see more into the future. All right, I have a lot of comments here that I haven't. Hey Snake, view on Qtum. So this is my view on Qtum. Your blockchain is only as good as your dApps that you're building upon. So this is a lie. I don't know why they still have it here. I think PundyX is bullshit. I think PundyX is absolute bullshit. No one's ever going to, no store is ever going to. Okay, all right. First of all, if you're knowledgeable on retail whatsoever, I'm going to tell you something that you may want to hear is PundyX is never going to work in the modern retail space. Why? Because it relies on replacing your existing point of sale system. With PundyX, who the fuck is going to do that? No one's going to do that. No one's going to replace their credit card processing transactions. For example, you know, I'm Indian, so I'm just going to tell you that I have families that own gas stations, all right, and they are mandated to use it in a pre-existing, for example, a 7-Eleven, they are mandated to use a specific point of sale system. Now, what I believe is that no company, no retail store, no McDonald's is going to replace their entire point of sale system with PundyX. What they're going to do is they're going to have a software or receiving technology that works within their own point of sale system to actually move forward with this stuff, right? To move forward with merchant transactions. PundyX requires a hardware device, and then you're replacing, and then also bringing in your own inventory systems, your own SaaS systems, right onto their system. So now you have to have two separate teams working on the same goal. So now you have to hire however many employees you need to integrate PundyX and to maintain that system without actually integrating into the pre-existing point of sale system. So the inventory management, databasing infrastructure, all of these things have to be panned out for PundyX to succeed. So I am not a big fan of PundyX. And that being said, Qtum, I'm waiting for any one of these. BitClave is pretty cool. I know them. Data Wallet, holy shit. Data Wallet, who knows what's happening with them. Metablock, personal medical records on the blockchain. That shit is never going to work. Why? Why is that never going to work, Snay? Why is that never going to work? because each hospitals don't work like Europe. In the United States, hospitals are independent of each other. They have different regulations. They have different security protocols. They have different regulations on how to share patient medical records with each other. And yeah, it's just, it requires you to build an infrastructure. So get a Kaiser Permanente, get something like a Rex, get something like a St. Jude's, and then you have to continually buy, or not buy, but acquire all these partnerships with hospitals and different insurances to have this move forward. And not only that, you know, Europe is, I wouldn't say Europe is small, but it's not 300 million people. There's no country in Western Europe with 300 million people. So just using the United States as an example, you have cross-border problems in Europe, and then you have the American healthcare fiasco that we have now. So definitely interesting. Definitely interesting to see what will actually happen with personal medical records, but I'm not a big fan of that whatsoever. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap. Polymath. We have a question on Polymath. I like Polymath. I like what they're going to do. Actually, Monarch is a security token, and we've partnered with the two premier security token tracking companies for STO launchpads, which is Swarm Fund and Polymath. I think STOs are the future, and that's the only way to do that. So we have a really good relationship with a bunch of these people. And of course, the co-founder of LinkedIn is one of our advisors, trying to advise us on the ways of moving forward, right, on Monarch. And I'm a big fan of Polymath. It's just they're really reliant on when these security exchanges go live. Why is EOS code crap? Why is EOS code crap? First of all, their naming convention is only 12 characters in their public address. To run a decent, so for example, if CryptoKitties was to run on EOS, hold on. This is actually pretty good.
On today's episode of the CryptoKitties game itself would have to have grown in popularity by 40 times. So there we go.
Anyways,
transactions.
Cryptoverse does a, I'm not going to go through all of this, but Cryptoverse does a great video. I would go check this out. How much would it cost to actually run CryptoKitties on EOS? So when you're buying EOS, what you're buying is bandwidth into the network. So when CryptoKitties, for all intents and purposes, shut down Ethereum, they just said, hey, we're going to use all the bandwidth for Ethereum. It didn't cost them anything. It just cost the transaction fees. While on EOS, if CryptoKitties was so immensely popular, you would basically have to buy like $1 billion of EOS in order to run this shit. And that is not a sustainable architecture. That is not a sustainable architecture within the future. On top of that, you should go take a look at their code. We've been trying to integrate EOS without their own developer support, just based on their GitHub material, based on their own developer support material. Holy crap, what a shit show. What a shit show. And on top of that, everybody heard about Shios, right? The crypto twins. You guys heard of the crypto twins? I'll show you some more. I mean, if you guys aren't savvy on this. Where is this shit? Anyways, these guys, crypto twins, really funny guys. They are actually twins, and they are actually in crypto. They lost $200,000. Yeah. They lost $200,000 in EOS based on these hacks, because there's a shit ton of vulnerabilities. You have no idea the amount of vulnerabilities there are in EOS without proper auditing. Like, and first of all, I'm not savvy enough in delegated proof of stake systems and architecture. I'm more of a proof of work, and so I'm still learning about that. I'm still learning about that, but I'm not savvy enough to properly audit their code, unlike Ethereum, which You know, it's been around for a while. You know, there's a lot of instructional manuals and a lot of experts that are much better than me, and I'll never claim to be an expert. And if anyone who is claiming to be an expert on anything like that, trading, development, unless they're part of the founding team, I would double guess myself, right? I would double guess myself. Like Cardano, it's going to be basically impossible because the people who created Haskell are working with Cardano and they're built on Haskell, so that's their source code. And I bought a book on Haskell, I opened it up and I shut it because I was like, yeah, I need like a PhD in math to run this thing. So I definitely, Dan Larimer is one of the smartest guys, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I love BitShares. I can't believe BitShares isn't getting more traction, other than its shitty user interface and the fact that I can't run it. I can't run the node. I've tried several times. I think it's pretty cool. You know, I have it running on my a Mac, but I don't have it running on Windows, and it's kind of weird. But I've been trying to get it to work, but it's just not working for me. But yeah, very shitty code on EOS. Nevertheless, I mean, it's still basically not usable, in my opinion. It's basically not usable, and the bandwidth problem is going to cause a lot of issues. And there's 20 delegates. And if you just scour the internet and say, hey, EOS is a scam, or EOS delegate issues, you'll find lots of resources showing that there's a lot of collusion happening within these delegates, right? And what have we seen? And I love bringing up this example. And I know you guys have seen that before, but check this out. We have Biz Classic. So we have 4chan runs the most popular node on Arc. Whatever happened to Arc, that plug and play system? You know, again, this is what I'm saying. Platforms are no longer the future. It is going to be dApps. dApps are the future, guys. dApps. Companies that are actually building on blockchain. Not just people saying, hey, we have a blockchain, come build on us. No, companies that are actually doing something. And right now, Monarch is a ERC20 token. It is an Ethereum smart contract, but we are looking at different possibilities. We are looking into EOS. We are looking in. We're not looking into Neo, but Ontology we're looking into. Whenever that actually launches. Cardano we're going to be looking into when that main that actually launches. GoChain, Dragon Chain, we're all looking into these because they're faster, they're more scalable, and of course Hedera Hashgraph. We are looking into that as well. So we're definitely looking into all of these different things. But yeah, that being said, and I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I mean, I think I've ranted enough for you guys here today, and I really appreciate everybody joining us here today. And I am more on the development and tech side. Jason's much better at TA than me, in my opinion. And we have actually people, industry experts, who actually do TA for a living and run funds in the Moon Lounge that are there. So definitely go check out the Moon Lounge. It's absolutely free. The community discussion is absolutely free. Go check it out on the link below. I mean, what's there to lose? You'll see me in there, and you can talk shit. I know whoever this Dave guy is who loves to talk shit. Go in there, check it out, and you can talk shit on me in there as well. So it's pretty great stuff going on. But anyways, I really appreciate everybody joining me here today. Leave me a comment if you haven't seen your coin, and just say, hey, Stan, you're full of shit. Leave me a comment, or what else? Smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, my TA is great. I mean, I've been doing it for 8 years. I hope it's good enough, but I'm not an industry expert. My background is automation engineering. That's what I got my degree in. I got my master's in it as well. I got my master's in systems engineering. So, you know, we actually have people that run funds for a living. We have people that literally all they do is margin trade for a living there. So check it out, guys. And I do appreciate everybody joining me here today. And yeah, make sure you guys call people out on their shit. Not only me, not only me, but ICOs and other YouTubers too. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers there that are significantly more popular than me that don't know shit. They wouldn't even know how to they wouldn't even know how to say, hey, hello world in Visual Basic, and now they're blockchain experts. So I would never consider any YouTuber a blockchain expert. What I am is I'm a blockchain architect. I wouldn't even consider myself a developer, but I'm a solutions architect, and I am an expert in solutions architecture. And that's what I've been doing for several Fortune 500 companies. So that's what I would consider myself to be an expert at. So you got to check out and see the validity of a lot of these Twitter experts, these YouTuber experts, and actually see, hey, let me look at your LinkedIn, you know. But yeah, stop shilling Monarch, calling you out. Thank you. Yes, do that. Call me out on that shit, because I will continue doing that. All right. That being said, guys, me and Jason will be streaming from Crypto Invest Summit tomorrow. 4,500 people in a single conference room. Steve Wozniak from Apple is going to be there. Microsoft is sponsoring it as well. So is American Airlines. There's a lot of cool companies there. We're going to be there interviewing a lot of cool people. So go check it out. You're sexy. I love you, Snay. Thank you so much. I know I'm sexy. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Have a good day, guys. I appreciate it.